in the United States, which a lot of people have complained, to your point, that we are sort of being governed by fiat by a court that is, I mean, the Supreme Court in general is an unelected body. It's an undemocratic body, but now we have this conservative supermajority that a lot of people are concerned about that is not bowing at all to stare decisis, but is creating completely new rules. And to that point, Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez today said on Twitter that she is introducing articles of impeachment against, she didn't say which Supreme Court justices, based on, I guess, a lot of these rulings. She also didn't say specifically which, but it was after this immunity decision that she has said this. She's describing what's happening as an authoritarian capture. What are your thoughts on that? And I mean, of course, Congress is so gridlocked. We'll see where that goes, but it sends a certain type of message. And what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I actually tend to agree with her about the authoritarian capture. I think there's a lot of validity to that perspective. I think that the court, with this decision, has really ensconced a profoundly minoritarian view of presidential power at the heart of its jurisprudence. And that is not a view that I would ever have expected to see the Supreme Court backing. It's a view of, Federalist society and really extremist, not even mainstream Federalist society viewpoints. It's the sort of view that Professor John Yoo, my former colleague at Berkeley, defended in Section 5 of the torture memos way back when in 2002, when he said that even a federal statute making torture impermissible would be unconstitutional if it tied the hands of the president. Now that's an extreme view of presidential power, a view that says, you can't, that Congress, it doesn't just tie the hands of the court, it doesn't just eliminate judicial review on the part of federal courts of presidential action, it ties the hands of Congress as well, and says that Congress can't even pass laws restricting the president in significant ways. And so that does start to look like something that she is describing, a kind of authoritarian capture. By individuals, some of whom, not all of whom, but some of whom have shown significant problems in their personal ethics, and maybe seeking, as I said, to immunize themselves from accountability. Now, do I think, however, that introducing articles of impeachment is realistic for those members of the Supreme Court? I do not, because I don't think with the current composition of the two chambers of Congress that we could actually see the impeachment of, or even, on a majority basis in the House. We're not going to see those articles of impeachment go through with a Republican-led House and a bare majority in the Senate. There's not going to be 2/3 voting to convict. So I think it is a performative act, one that makes a point, one that stands up for a certain position, but it's not a realistic check and balance on members of the Supreme Court, unfortunately.
Which I think is what has been problematic from the viewpoint of the left and also moderate Republicans who feel that the Supreme Court has been unchecked and maybe has lost the moderate middle. Of course, Congress is, does have the power to impeach and convict justices, but like as you said, that's very unlikely. But as